In 70 BC, an ambitious minor politician and extremely wealthy man, Marcus Crassus, wanted to rule Rome. Just to give you an idea of what sort of man Crassus really was, he's credited with the invention of the fire brigade. But in Crassus's version, his firefighting slaves would race to the scene of a burning building, whereupon Crassus would offer to buy it on the spot for a tiny fraction of its worth. If the owner sold, Crassus's slave would put out the fire. If the owner refused to sell, Crassus allowed the building to burn to the ground. By means of this device, Crassus eventually became to be the single largest private landholder in Rome, and used some of his wealth to help back Julius Caesar against Cicero. In 70 BC, Rome was still a republic, which placed very strict limits on what rulers could do, and more importantly, not do. But Crassus had no intention of enduring such limits to his personal power and contrived a plan. Crassus seized upon the slaves' revolt led by Spartacus in order to strike terror into the hearts of Rome, whose garrisons Spartacus had already defeated in battle. But Spartacus had no intention of marching on Rome itself, a move he knew to be suicidal. Spartacus and his band wanted nothing to do with the Roman Empire and had planned from the start to merely loot enough money from their former owners in the Italian countryside to hire a mercenary fleet in which to sail to freedom. Sailing away was the last thing Crassus wanted Spartacus to do. He needed a convenient enemy with which to terrorize Rome for his personal political gain. So Crassus bribed the mercenary fleet to sail without Spartacus, then positioned 2 Roman legions in such a way that Spartacus had no choice but to march on Rome. Terrified of the impending arrival of the much-feared gladiators, Rome declared Crassus praetor, the commander of the army. Crassus then crushed Spartacus's army and was elected consul of Rome the following year. After Crassus formed the first triumvirate, an informal political alliance consisting of Crassus, Pompey, and Julius Caesar, Crassus was later killed in a battle trying to match the military exploits of both Caesar and Pompey. With Crassus dead, the balance of power within the triumvirate shifted and Caesar and Pompey became rivals. Not long after, Caesar became ruler and assumed power over the Senate. The Roman Republic had fallen.